Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to jump into our final game this evening. Take it away, HD.
All right, so here we are. It's the final game of the night. The map is Darkness Falls. Great way to end the night. We have Complexity Ryze at the top left-hand corner of the map. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have got TD Attero. So this is going to be the last game of the night.
Ooh, Attero's getting chatty. You know what that means. Whenever anybody starts talking to you at the beginning of the game, it means they're going to cheese your face off.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Scientific fact. We'll
You
have
think
to
so?
see, though. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the subject.
I don't think Attero's really type to cheese. You think so?
What?
You think he's going to cheese him?
He's definitely the type to cheese.
All right. You think he's going to do it?
He'll throw some stinky cheese your way.
By the way, guys, for you guys who may not know what cheese is essentially when you play StarCraft 2 a little bit less than conventional, shall I say. Your objective is to win, just like it is always, but you do it in the most dirtiest way possible.
Cheesing is like bluffing in poker.
No.
Yes.
Cheesing is like going all in with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, which is bluffing.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Jeez.
No.
It's the exact same thing. I mean, it really is.
Okay,
It's like,
okay.
if you to draw a comparison between the two games. But like, yeah, cheesing is essentially just playing to win with a really high risk reward. It's just like in your face, I did this, I win, haha. But if you prepare for it and you scout it and you see it coming, then you win. It's just like,
Well, it looks like your science has been proven wrong.
No,
because we have a forge.
oh, he's still got options. 7 gate, 8 gate.
That's true. Oh, wow. Ryze going with the hatch first here, ladies and gentlemen. Attero went for a forge opening, so Attero here could go for pylon cannon harass. And in fact, I would be very surprised if he doesn't do it. I don't know why he's not building a pylon. It looks
He
like
has
he's going to
saved
go
up
for the Nexus.
quite a bit of money, though.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Nexus instead. I really feel like if he just
Yeah.
wanted to, he could just cannon the crap out of this hatchery.
Yep.
It's-
Double pylon in the back.
Yeah, it's
Form
really,
some sort of a wall.
really risky for Zerg players to go for 15 hatch like this. I'm surprised Ryze did it. Attero could still build pylons, don't get me wrong. He could still get a cannon up here, but it looks like he's not going to.
Yeah.
Probe and drone locked in a Mortal Combat.
And it looks like the drone is
Just
going
gets
to
out of
live
it.
to fight again another
Fatality,
day.
finish him.
Dronality.
As he dies, he crashes through the floor
like
below.
Fatality, Babality. What were some of the other ones? Animality? Animality, right? I think that was it, right? They do like
Turn into like a butterfly. Sonya would turn into like a giant butterfly.
Oh, I didn't play enough Mortal Kombat to know.
I didn't either, really, but there were definitely 3. Who was the kicking guy in Mortal Kombat? It's not Law. Lee?
Lee? Cage?
No.
who's like the main
Sub-Zero?
Kicking guy. The guy with his shirt off. It's like,
I didn't play enough Mortal Kombat to know, man. I'm more
I
of a
can't
Street Fighter
believe
guy.
I don't know this. It's like the most common. He's like the main guy from Mortal Kombat. The head dude. He's like the Bruce Lee of Mortal Kombat.
Everyone in the lunchroom's probably shouting it out. Everyone in
I'm
the chat
such a
room's probably
noob right
shouting it
now,
out.
dude. I know this. I just. Ugh.
Anyways, it looks like
I wanna say,
Attero's
like,
gonna
Fei
play
Long.
2 base. That's Street Fighter.
Yeah, that is
That's
Street Fighter.
I know Street Fighter. Anyways, Attero is on 2 base right now.
Law is Tekken.
Ryze is on 2 base as well. Looks like we're gonna have a macro game on our hands, man.
Epic fail. I still think Attero's gonna cheese. I stand by my early prediction.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. You could go for 7 gate plus or something crazy. 7 gate, by the way, is when a Protoss player just throws down essentially that many number of gateways and just goes for a big bum rush of gateway units, which is actually surprisingly good because you can catch a lot of players off guard.
It's
Ryze
super
can go
good.
for a 3rd hatchery.
It's super good.
Oh yeah, it's solid. It's a great build to have up your sleeve.
Yeah, it's very difficult to hold off, especially if they execute it well. White Raw is a player that does it a lot. He's really good at it. And what's Attero gonna do here?
Well, he's
Looks
certainly
like
going to let the Overlord die first before he reveals his strategy.
Looks like he's saving up quite a bit of money, perhaps to drop some gateways.
So 2 gateways coming down. gateways coming down. 4 gateways. 5 gateways. 6 gateways. Yes.
There it is.
6th gate with +1 weapons. 7th gate. Yes. They're very smart. Very smart.
I mean, I just know Attero, and I know what he's capable of, and there it is.
Alright, so essentially we have an all-in from Attero here, and the reason why this is an all-in is because Attero is essentially dumping all of his resources into these early gateways. He's not teching up, he's not going to Robotics, he's not going to Twilight Council, he's not going to Stargate, he's cutting probes. He is going for a big bum rush of gateway units, and it's going to come down to whether he does enough damage or he doesn't. And if he does, he wins. If he doesn't, he loses. There's certain situations where you can actually come out a little even, too. If you do enough damage, but not quite enough, and then you might have a macro game, too, but it's a little bit rare.
Yeah, it's very rare. You know, 9 times out of 10, if Ryze can hold this off without taking too much damage, he'll be in a very good spot to win the game.
He's getting armor.
I think he already has attack.
Oh, he already has attack. Wow.
So it's going to be a 1-1 7-gate timing push here.
That's pretty big.
And Ryze is going to have his Roach Warren up. He has a macro hatch. Ryze is in a pretty good spot to deal with this, actually. You know, he's up on Harvesters right now. He sees it coming right now. If he can just get the jump and start producing units right now, get a few Spine Crawlers up. And here we have some Roaches in production. He has +1 and speed coming, but +1 and speed are not going to finish by the time this 7-gate hits. He's really going to have to kick out units. 16 Zerglings in production as well, so Ryze getting ready for this. Gonna try and pick, oh my goodness, forcing a few extra force fields right there that Attero did not want to use, and Attero is just going all in here. He's bringing everything he's got.
Bucking it right now.
Yeah, this is full buck mode. 100% buck.
Infinity Mongoloid.
Yep.
And here we go. So the pylons are coming up. Pylons, of course, allowing Protoss to warp in units right then and there. He's going to force field that 3rd location, but...
pretty good force fields.
Yeah, pretty good force fields, giving the Zealots a lot of room to attack in the front door. The Spine Crawler's doing some decent damage right now, and Attero is just going all out, man. If he can break this location, he's in a great spot. He kills off the Crawlers. He's going to kill off the Roaches as well. The 3rd hatchery's in a lot of trouble. Ryze has got to get more units in the field, or he's in a lot of trouble, and of course in the background, we will have more units warping in momentarily.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually hasn't warped in more units already. He's floating 600 right now. There we go. Gonna warp in some additional Zealots here. Needs to be careful, though. That's a lot of Lings, and the Zealots are not in the front. And there we go. The Zealots finally do join in, and they're really, really tearing through those Zerglings. They do have +1/+1. And Zerg just now about to get +1. That macro hatch really helping out, though. Tons of reinforcement Lings and Roaches coming in. Yeah. And he might just have enough to hold this off. Wow. He did lose some drones, though, but Attero losing the majority of his army right here. All the sentries have gone down, and I think Ryze is going to hold that off. And I don't think he took enough damage for that to be worthwhile for Attero at all. Yeah, I don't think he did either. But, you know, the thing here is Attero still can continue with the aggression. While Ryze won the small battle, it doesn't necessarily mean he's won the war yet. So we'll have to see what Attero's plan here is from here on out. I don't think he can really macro out of this. I think he's just got to continue with the aggression and go for a second wave. He's really got one more shot at this. But, you know, Ryze is such a smart player. He's not droning up right now. No. He's just building more attack units because he knows what Protoss is capable of. Yeah, he certainly does. And he is just going to continue to pour it on Attero. All these Roaches now with +1 are the perfect units to deal with this gateway ball from Attero. Ryze getting a little ahead of himself there, pushing out, losing quite a few units, giving Attero a possible opportunity to get back in this if he attacks with enough Stalkers, and that's just what he's continuing to warp in. It's just all Stalkers from here on out, and Ryze just pumping units off all his hatcheries. 28 Lings on the way right now. Right. 2 additional Roaches. And once all those units come out, he's also adding a robotics facility, so he could have Immortals pretty soon. We might see the firing squad in action again. But Attero also maneuvering into the right side of the map now. He's going to utilize this little... Why is Attero building cannons right now? I don't know, but he's going to utilize this peak on Darkness Falls. And this is actually a pretty good spot for Protoss to be. He's going to force field all those Roaches, but he loses the proxy pylon, so he won't have any more reinforcements. These units are stranded out here by themselves. But Attero has a great spot here on the high ground. This is essentially looking on the high ground down to the low ground. He can hold this position for a very long time. Yeah, but I don't think he has nearly enough units to end the game or push beyond that position. And now that he has all these units stuck out on the field, if Ryze can clean these up or set up a flank, and it looks like that's what he's trying to do here, he's just going to push him outright. Once he kills this remaining ball of gateway units, Attero really has no follow-up to this. He's trying to transition into Robo and get a few cannons up at his main, but he's floating 1,300 right now.
Yeah,
70 supply to 130, and he's just falling further and further behind. Ryze just running away with this game. I don't know if Attero can recover from here.
Yeah, Attero just lost his entire army, and this is why you see it as an all-in. If you're not successful with it, as we see here, he was pretty unsuccessful.
Yeah.
He is going to be really, really far behind. But credit to Attero, he hasn't left the game yet. He's going to stick in it, and he's going to try to stay in the game. There's always a chance in StarCraft 2, unless, you're Complexity MVP Tails.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah, we will. He's trying to take his third right now. That's ill-advised. He immediately cancels that. He kind of gets caught out in the open here. All of the Zerglings barreling down on the remainder of his army, and he needs to fall back to these cannons. There's no way that he can engage that force right now. And
those cannons came in handy.
Yeah. Attero, well, I mean, he needed to put them up. That was his only real fallback plan. He's trying to get out an Immortal army like we saw last game, and once again trying to throw down his third, but I mean, there's just really no way for him to push out and take that third. He needs to fall back and get Colossus or something.
I think at the same time he realizes, though, that if he stays on 2 base for too long, he's just going to lose the game outright. He's got to get another third Nexus down. And this is really the focal point of this game now. Will he be able to get the Nexus out here? The one thing I will give credit to Attero, though, is he's making a lot of Immortals right now. We might have that firing squad in action in a couple of seconds at that. I don't know, man. It might be what he needs to get out of this location and get a third up.
It may indeed.
Those Immortals, I'm not discounting them, man. I saw what they did last game. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, they are. And he's pushing out now towards his third. I think he might be able to grab his third. I don't know if he has enough, though. There's just so many roaches.
I think he does have enough, man. He's pushing the Broach army back. Unbelievable. Those Immortals are doing so much work. 5 kills, 8 kills, and 5 kills. That's almost 20 kills on those Immortals. 18 kills total.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he will be able to take his third position back, but this time it's a little bit different. Ryze has his 4th base up and running. He's fully saturated. He's in full macro mode right now. He can easily replace all those units he just lost, and he can just smash into the third over and over again. And Attero actually getting a little bit ahead of himself, trying to push right now. I think he just needs to play full defensive mode, and he's got that Dark Shrine coming. Needs to try and utilize those DTs to do some harass damage, pick off a hatchery, and then he might be able to work his way back into this game. But as it sits right now, he just needs to be super, super defensive and just be very, very careful about where he moves out and when.
Also different from the last game is we do have Hydralisks on the field, and I know Zerglings are supposed to be pretty good against Immortals. We saw that didn't work out too well, but I would have to say Hydras are probably going to be the de facto Immortal killer here.
Hydras are like the best possible unit you can get against Immortals, I think.
Yeah, they're just way too good, and I don't care how good Immortals are and how many you have, Hydras are really, really good, especially this number. But to his credit, Attero is getting Dark Shrine, and Dark Templars are really, really good against Hydras, especially with no detection here. The Dark Shrine is almost done. If he can get his Dark Templar out, he should be able to hold this third with ease.
Yeah, he should. And now Force Field's going down for Attero, trying to delay the inevitable here, which is the push from Ryze. Ryze can afford to throw these units away. He's maxed. He really just wants to engage right now. Some DTs trying to sneak by, going through the back route of Darkness Falls up on the high ground, but those get spotted because Ryze was actually spreading his creep tumors at the exact same time as those DTs were running by, so he knows they're coming.
Attention, though, that's the question.
Oh, and he already has a Spore Crawler in position. So.
Although, one DT does make its way into the natural, or excuse me, the third, but at the same time we have a double attack coming in here, one from the high ground and one from the low ground. Will the Immortals be enough to hold this off? They're at 1-1, the Hydras are at 0-2, so upgrades fairly even right now. This is just a terrible spot for Attero to be in, because there's 2 locations where he's being attacked at, and really what Attero needs to do is grab this high ground area. He needs to hold this to protect this.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's going to be hard for him to hold it, though. That DT does get cleaned up at the natural, and Attero just now starting to make his push, but he needs to be careful here. He could end up getting surrounded. Ryze is maneuvering around him, and he's got such great surface area. If Attero tries to push his way through there, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and he's still making DTs right now, which at this point I don't know if it's going to be effective anymore. There's spores and spines all over the map. Maybe if he mixes it in with his main army, because there's no Overseer right now, that can be pretty helpful. But it looks like we have an engagement coming in here. No Dark Templar to be seen, though. Immortals taking a lot of damage on their shields. Force Field's coming down. Good Force Fields. And did that Force Field?
It actually went up on the peak of the mountain up there.
Wow.
It didn't block off those roaches. I thought those roaches were doomed. But that
funny.
force field goes up on the high ground there and actually totally misses.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I guess if it's big enough, you can throw them up there.
Does that mean you can put a unit up there, too?
Yeah, maybe like one Marine.
A tank?
Oh, Ryze sneaks his way into the natural with about half of his units, and he is just going super aggressive here. The Hydras with the range upgrade doing a ton of damage here at the natural. Attero might be able to hold on. I don't think so, though. He's taking so much damage from every angle.
And now we're seeing how good Hydras really are against Immortals. Immortals are great and everything, and what? He's gonna hold?
But he took a lot of damage there, and he lost a lot of units. And Ryze is on 5 base now.
He is sending Dark Templar into the back of the middle field as well, trying to do damage wherever possible. Dark Templars, of course, the invisible assassins of the Protoss, can go in.
Attero does have a ninja fourth going up.
Yeah,
It's actually up.
It is up. And the Dark Templar is actually harassing the fifth pretty well here, preventing the crawlers from growing up, so there's no detection here. And that DT is having a heyday right now. It's got 6 kills already, 7 kills, 2 of those being buildings, and it's still hacking away at the Zerg army. This is actually allowing Attero to buy time to get the 4th Nexus up and essentially get his army back on track.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I really like this from him. I really, really do.
I still think he's pretty far behind, though, man.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble here.
Yeah, he's he lost most of his firing squad right there. About half of his Immortals biting the dust. As honorably as they may fight, maybe a bit better for them to duck and cover under the ground.
Yeah, for sure. for sure.
Well, this is looking pretty bad for him, but he is getting Storm, which is good against Hydras. Yeah. Storm and Immortal certainly seems like a very good combination.
Archon Immortal seems even better to me. I'm surprised he hasn't tried that yet. Archon Immortal would be really, really strong. Like Archon Colossus Immortal, just with a sprinkle of anything else.
Sprinkle of
Zealots and Sentries. Just like whatever. But this Infestor Roach combination out of Ryze should be enough to do the trick here. Ryze has been so far ahead this entire game. I'm amazed Attero's managed to, make a game out of this.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. But here comes the Infestors. Fungal could go down. Oh, what is he doing? There's a Fungal growth. There's some Infested Terrans. There's a Storm on the Roaches. Roaches go right by the Storm, though they have a lot of HP, but the Immortals are doing a lot of damage to these Roaches. And oh my god, the entire Roach army is going to be slaughtered here. That was a great hold by Attero.
He needs to back, though.
Yeah,
all these infested Terrans are just going to be able to kill everything. So, relatively even trade there for both players, but Ryze can afford to throw away all these units, and I keep coming back to that. Ryze is throwing away a lot of units, but he can totally afford to. His income is insane right now. He's just remaxing on Roaches almost immediately after each one of these engagements.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was a brilliant trade, I think, for Attero because he was so far behind in the game already. To come out even in that regard was pretty amazing. But he's in a bad spot right now. I don't know how he's going to make this game work. His entire Immortal squad has been reduced to just 1. He's got a solo Mortal now. And Ryze is going to come into the fort. Not much that Attero can do here. Although the Storm's laying out a lot of carpet damage to those infested Terrans, I still think Ryze is going to be able to crush this Nexus without too much troubles.
Infested Terrans are so good, man. They're so good.
Oh wow, he's going to be able to hold.
Yeah, but he's going to lose a lot. And Roach is hitting the 3rd at the same time, so he can't hold on to both these positions at once. He's going to be forced to deal with the 4th over here, and then he's going to have to go back and deal with the 3rd, and Ryze is already setting up to hit the 4th again once he leaves. Look at that. Has another attack coming on the right side there. Oh, those are Infestors. So he's going to throw some more Infested Terrans over there at the 4th. I really like that. Yeah. And the 3rd has gone down for Attero, so Attero is in a world of hurt right now. Ryze actually going to pull out and just run with all those Roaches, recoup his forces, bring his Roaches back together with the Infestors, and then probably hit a final push here once he gets all of his army back together. And he has Crackling upgrade on the way, +3 ranged attacks. His economy's great. I mean, Ryze couldn't be in a better position to win this game.
Yeah, at this point, it's almost a little sad because for once I was rooting for the Protoss player to win. I mean, I usually, as I am a Zerg player, I'm somewhat biased. I totally admit, but I feel like Attero is fighting such an uphill battle all
He's been fighting. He's been
Sometimes
fighting
you gotta
straight
root
uphill.
for the underdog, man. I was hoping to see the Immortal Firing Squad just slay everything.
Once
But
again,
Hydras are too good.
yeah, they really, really are.
He's gonna make his last standard. This is gonna be the Alamo, and he's got a Templar, kind of like the scout of the front of the
Got to
clip.
hit that feedback. He needs to hit a bunch of feedbacks here.
Nope, he's gonna go for Storm instead and misses the Storm entirely. In
I
fact,
think
doing more damage to
feedbacks
his own
would
unit.
be much better use of energy here on Attero's part.
Oh, the Overseers. Oh, he feedbacks
No.
Overseers.
No.
Unless he was going for Dark Templar, I don't agree with that.
I guess maybe if he killed the last Overseer and then got a bunch of DTs out or something, but
Yeah.
no way. Even then, fungal growth could go down on the DTs and reveal them, so
Yeah.
not a good move right there by Attero.
There's feedback going down on the Infestor. Feedback, of course, basically feedbacking the energy a unit has and killing it based on how much energy it has. Ryze now coming into the third.
I like what you said earlier.
Was.
Neuralizes all the energy
Neuralizes.
that it has.
Yep.
Look at this army he's managed to scrape together, though.
Yeah, this is a little scrap ragtag army that Attero's put together. He's actually grabbed the base down in the bottom right here.
Just sacrifice. He's like, forget it.
He needs to warp in a sentry right now. In fact, he makes a DT to hold the front. Oh, but the Overseer goes
it does go down.
right after.
Yeah,
he
that's too
kills
bad.
Off the Dark Templar. And
Chasing these infestors is not what he wants to be doing right now. He needs to warp in some DTs at the natural, though. Oh, the Dark Shrine goes down. So he's not going to be able to warp in DTs to hold that off.
Yeah, the main is essentially done for all the production facilities and all the technical things are going to go down at this point.
And he pulled back with his entire army.
Yeah, this is not what he wants to do. I think he should just go for the base race with,
I totally
with the
agree.
army he scrapped together.
I totally agree. I don't know why he didn't just continue straight on with that push.
Well, he's going to push now because there's a lot of crawlers coming up, although they just started. They're pretty weak in HP. It looks like he's going to be able to roll through that. And here we have the Archon Immortal Army with a lot of Stalkers sprinkled in. So we'll see how this army does. But there are Cracklings about to come out. That's pretty bad.
A lot of investors coming too.
They're under the ground. Ambush!
And he needs to watch out.
Oh!
Nice storm and
Great
feedback
storm.
right there.
Although we did have a fungal on those Immortals. Really weak. He's got to pull back and let those shields regenerate.
He has found himself a sweet spot up here on the hill, though. And oh my god, he's getting
Is it a
surrounded.
sweet spot, though? He's surrounded
God.
on all directions. This is the perfect location for the Zerg to be, and everything's going to crush from all angles.
Beautiful
GG. GG.
Sweet spot turns into a sour spot
Yeah.
real quick.
That was a sweet spot.
And Attero loses everything at the end right there. Either way, Ryze, look at his bankroll. He had 5.2k, 4k gas at the end right there. There's just no way for Attero to come back and win that one.
I like the last stand, the location that Attero chose to make his last stand.
Alamo in the top.
On the top of the hill, I shall stand.
Anyway, great series for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed those games as much as we did. That was some awesome StarCraft. But that'll do it for the night. Please feel free to follow some of our social media, YouTube, Facebook, Justin TV, and Twitter.com/IGNProLeague. You can follow me and HD on Twitter. I'm at PainUser. He's at HD StarCraft. Shout out to all the employees in the cafeteria. Shout out to myself in the future. Shout out to you.
Yes, thank you, yes.
Shout out to everyone on IPL production.
Shout out to the whole